Hi, this is Mary Valenides, and I'm going to share with you the sixth 6 weeks mathematics curriculum preview for 3rd grade. The big ideas for this 6 weeks is to finish personal financial literacy, have your STAR review, STAR test on May 8th, transition to 4th grade you have 11 days for that, and review multiplication facts. You have 1 day. So let's start off with personal financial literacy. You've already started teaching a little bit of that in the 5th 6 weeks. You have 1 week, anything highlighted green, you'll have that whole week to finish teaching financial literacy. So what text are we covering? 3.9a, explain the connection between human capital, labor, and income. Notice here we want to make sure we make the connection between a person's education experience and their abilities to the income in an occupation. And I've also included what TEA has given us in that little green box for you as well. So what are some ideas and resources you can use? You can have the kids research different careers and what they need for those careers. Here is a website, Smarter Texas. It gives a PowerPoint. It gives you a few ebooks, free ebooks that you can share with the kids. And then also, if you in your school library, you might check to see if you have a day's work by Eve Bunting that you can share with the kids as well. Now, how was this tested last year? You'll see this is our 7th lowest scoring item. Now notice it did have a not in the question, and notice it's not capitalized. It's just bold-faced. But this was the question that was scored last year, 58% passing. Then we have 3.9b, where you need to describe the relationship between the availability or scarcity of resources and how that impacts cost. Of course, the rarer it is, the more it costs. So, such as chocolate, where it's grown, you'll see that it has a very short dry season. So, if they don't have enough dry season, the chocolate will cost more when we get it in our home. So you'll see, if you want to read this to the kids, that's a possibility. Another thing is, even seats for a game. As more seats are sold, the prices get higher as it gets closer to the game. So therefore, it's scarcity that makes our prices go up higher. So 3.9b, this is a sample item. It was not tested last year, but here's a sample item that you can use with the kids. And notice this has the remaining peaches. It's talking about the scarcity of peaches. Then text for personal financial literacy 3.9d talks about explain the credit is used when wants and needs exceed the ability to pay. So that's where we have credit that comes in principal and interest. So give the kids some examples, such as when you borrow money to buy a car or house or even to go to college. Here is a little bank rate calculator that you can use with the kids to show them if you buy a house for this much, how much interest are you paying, and how much is the total cost. I think that'll be eye-opening for some of them. Then here's the released item. The kids did score 75% mastery last year. And here's the sample item. I'm going too fast. Just know that this is available in the PowerPoint. Then 3.9e, list reasons to save and explain the benefit of a savings plan included for college. And that's what most of this whole part of the financial literacy for 3rd grade is all about. We want to make sure the kids realize they need to start saving. I know they might think they're young, but we need to start saving for college because the the interest of loans is terrible. So 3.9c and 3.9f are not assessed on STAR. So if you want to leave those two and go over them after STAR, if the time is more valuable to you right now before STAR, that's truly understandable and you can do that. Here is the listing of all the resources per text that are available to you. Vocabulary, we don't have a lot of new vocabulary words, only 5, and then you have some review words as well. There's a vocabulary game called That's Sketchy, similar to Pictionary, so you might want to share this with the kids to go over vocabulary words. Then you have 10 days for STAR review, and this is what your calendar would look like. If you look at which text, so as you're preparing for STAR, you can review according to the needs of the students. You can review the readiness standards, since that's 65 to 70% of the STAR test. If you do look over Unit 13 overview for the readiness standards and what's available, you might include some supporting standards, or you might want to focus just on reporting category 2, and I will show you why. As you probably have heard, our test is now pared down a little bit to only have 32 items. There will still be 3 griddable items, but it's only 32. So you can see reporting category 1 is going to only have 8 questions. Reporting category 2, 13. That's the most, and there's also 5 readiness standards. Then reporting category 3 has 7 questions, and reporting category 4 has 4 questions. Notice it's still the same breakdown of the readiness standard and supporting standards. That has not changed. The only thing that has changed is the number of items. So if we look here, there are 14 questions in reporting category 1. Let's look at reporting category 2. There are 14 questions in reporting category 2. There are 9 supporting standards, but there are 5 readiness standards. So if each one of those 5 standards has 2 items, that will only leave 4 of the supporting standards that could be tested. It's possible that the readiness standards might just have 1 item, and then more of the supporting standards would be tested. But see, if we focus on these 5 readiness standards, then that would give us more chances of doing better with reporting categories 2. Here's a comparison of what we had last year compared to this year. Notice last year we had 18 questions, but there was a close number between 12, 18, and 10, whereas here it's spread a little bit more. The reporting category 2 has really come out ahead to having more text than the other categories. So again, the SEs are the same in each category. The highlighted ones are the ones that are readiness standards. So we have the same text. These are reporting category 1, and these are our testing results. This is reporting category 2, 3, and 4. So please think about what you would like to test for or review for the STAR. Now, looking at the CBA we just took recently, notice 3.5D, there was only 24.78% mastery this time on the CBA, which was actually about 3 points higher than last year. It was the same exact item. Notice that what we have here is that the kids are mainly putting a 5 in this blank instead of 45. So remember that this SE says that it could be a factor or the product that could be missing. Now, resources as you prepare, I want you to look back and see this document is still available in Eduphoria, and it breaks down the SEs for you and what resources we have for each part of it. And still the same thing applies. Anything that's in the 3rd column is recommended we do first. The red cells are readiness standards, yellow, it's not covered in Texas Go Math, and italicized words are support stations. So life after STAR, what do? There's 2 options. You can, and here's the days that we're talking about. You can do go over 4th grade concepts, or you can do the GAIN project, and then you have 5 days left for multiplication and division review. So the big ideas, if you do the 4th grade transition, you'll be going over whole number place value, decimal place value, multiplication and division review, and then you have 2 half days to review 3rd grade workstations if you like. So this is what the suggested calendar would be if you choose this route. And here are the days marked out with the text and what you'll be teaching. So whole number place value for 5 days. These are the texts that you're going to be, this is the text you'll be covering. You'll have this resource available for you in Eduphoria. 4.2b, we're talking about representing the value of a digit. But notice it's not only from 1 billion, but also with decimals and expanded notation. Then 4.2c, you can compare. We're comparing and ordering numbers. Notice you can play draw with a partner and fill all the boxes. That activity is online for you. And then 4.2d is rounding. And notice we round through the 100,000ths place. And then you'll start decimal place value. And you only will do that for 4 days. Now, this is going to be new to your kids because they've never had decimal place value. So it might be kind of fun to share it with them. Always remember that any time we go from one side to the other, it's 10 times as much. So that is or it's 1/10 because we have decimals. That is a concept that is difficult for some of our kids. So this SE will really give them a hard time. So really take your time with that SE. And now going over decimal place value, these are the 3 texts that you're going to be covering. And then you'll be ready for multiplication and division review, and there's 4 days. Because 3.4f, the kids must recall facts to multiply up to 10 by 10 with automaticity before they leave 3rd grade. So even if you have to just focus on this text for the remaining days and not even do the 4th grade transition, that's fine. But the kids need to know their text before they leave. So, here are some resources that are available for you. You can find the fact fluency component in Texas Go Math in the resource section online. And this is what it will look like when you get there. And then here's one of the pages, Basic Fact Strategies. Now, if you decide that your kids know their facts really well and they can make their game, here's a math board game project. Here are what you'll do day by day, step by step for each one of those days. Notice the objective is there for you. It's all in Eduphoria. Here are some topics that the kids can choose from. They can do one or a combination. And then we have it broken down step by step what you would require for the kids to do. There are rubrics that are provided that you can use to grade the projects. And there's a checklist for the kids to make sure they've included everything. And then here's a tip sheet because we want it to be a really colorful game board where the kids will want to play it. You might want to talk with other teachers to see if they made this last year and if they have any examples that they can share with you. Now here's a game board plan which you do day by day. And it's really fun at the end to have the kids play each other's games on days 9 and 10. And maybe even give some advice on how to make it even more fun. And then you can either keep the games if the kids will let you, or give it to the games for the students to practice during the summer. So have a wonderful rest of the year. Thank you for listening to this presentation, and please call me if you have any questions. Bye.